Roughly a week ago, I made a video on Turbo and the video performed very well. A lot of people watched it. There's a lot of interest in the token and usually interest should translate into purchases. Thus, when a video performs well, the price should also be going up. This is not though what we see in Turbo. So there's something very strange going on. Let's have a look at the on-chain statistics. Let's have a look at the buyers and sellers and let's see how much longer this rally could last or if it makes sense to rather exit Turbo now. So here's the video I was referring to. An average video on this channel is indicated here with this gray area, but the Turbo video here indicated in blue outperformed by a multiple X. And still up to this day, we see search volume. So people are interested in Turbo. At the time, the price was 0.8 cents. And even though there's so much interest for Turbo, the price went down. We are now at 0.6 cents. What's happening? I think there's two effects here. On the one side, we have some impact by the centralized exchanges. So it's not just trading on-chain that we can measure. Centralized exchanges have a big stake in Turbo. Secondly, we also see changes in the momentum by retail. So have a look at the token distribution on-chain. There are some major holders over here. What are those holders? It's OKX, it's Uphold, it's Gate.io, it's BitGet, Maxi, another Gate.io account. This token is heavily traded on centralized exchanges. However, we also have on-chain trading, so you can buy Turbo directly on Ethereum, and the on-chain activity is shown here in the charts behind me. This comes from a tool that I've developed myself. It's available to the premium members. It's down below, thebitcoinstrader.com. Feel free to check it out. You can plug in any token here, and we see on the left side the number of wallets that hold roughly $1,000 worth of Turbo. For the medium chart, it's roughly $10,000 worth of Turbo. For the right chart, it's $100,000 worth of Turbo. So we've seen in the last month, that's the duration of the chart, we see quite a constant accumulation by retail, but this has stopped somewhat since the 29th of May. For medium-sized holders, they already stopped buying in since the 27th, and the number of whale wallets didn't even change over the entire last month during the time when the Turbo price more than 10x'd. So isn't that interesting? Very little movement in the price in the last week. And while some whales were buying in the last week, you really see a slowdown in retail demand. So people are searching for the token, but they aren't necessarily buying anymore. It seems like a lot of the purchasing has stopped. However, the centralized exchanges have a massive stake in Turbo. The on-chain trading volume is dominated by OKX. In the last 24 hours, we saw 66 million traded on OKX, 47 million on Gate.io, 13 million on Huobi. At the same time, we also have bets on the price. So that's now the perpetual futures market. There is a positive funding rate. So that means people are, as per tendency, betting on rising prices. I want to talk about an effect most people aren't considering, and that's trading volume. There's a very high correlation between trading volume and price. So have a look at this here at the bottom, the light blue lines. This is when trading volume goes up. Trading volume peaks, price peaks. Trading volume goes down, price tends to go down. Let's have a look at this on a logarithmic scale. You do not want to necessarily buy when trading volume is the highest, but when trading volume is low, the price of Turbo tends to rather bleed. It tends to decline. Now this seems relatively harmless, but just have a look at the prices. This here is 0.14 cents. This here is 0.04 cents. So this is a drop of roughly 70% over here when there's very little trading volume. Now here's what I believe will happen. As trading volume declines, the price is likely going to continue to decline. However, I believe that at some point the centralized exchanges are likely going to promote, are likely going to pump and dump the token yet again, simply because they have that much of a stake in Turbo. Thus, there are two potential strategies here. Either one could simply hope for the price to simply pick up again, but I don't believe that's very likely given that the retail demand has already slowed down on chain. What I believe is the better approach here, if you want to get into Turbo, is not to buy now and forget about it. It's rather to dollar cost average into the price, because the price is likely going to continue to decline as the attention goes down. But at some point when there's pretty much zero attention and when the price has already dropped by 60-70% and there's no more token inflation, then at that point when the market cap is also low, then the centralized exchanges might yet again pump this. and then it makes sense to sell. So by dollar cost averaging, one does not have to necessarily time this pump, right? So the price goes down, it might go down by 30, 40%, then you buy in again, then it could go down by another 30, 40%, then you buy again, and you're simply just buying in 3-4 times instead of just buying everything at once. And with that, the average entry price goes down. And once the centralized exchanges decide to again push this and the trading volume gets to historical highs, then that's the time where one can make bank. 1 week ago, all looked still very fine with the accumulation, but this has all changed now. And I believe when the data changes, the approach has to change as well. It does not make sense to stick to a strategy when the situation completely changes. So I will continue to make updates on Turbo. If you want to see those, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. In case you've got Telegram, feel free to join us. Link is down below. Looking forward to chatting with you.